Hey y'all, it's Michael. I told myself that I'm gonna be consistent with the schedule, so here I am. It's late at night. Let's talk about some books. So in regards to last week, y'all, it's reading again. It's going pretty good. First off, let me talk about my book club books. Me and Dom, I'm gonna insert the clip in a few minutes, but we finally did our first book club meet. It was so exciting. And that was for Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray. So this book club is essentially like kind of like on the fly type of thing, but I think I'm starting to finally get the antithesis and like the meaning behind it, like that type of things. So first off, one thing that I think is gonna make the book club super fun is that one thing that me and Dom love, and it's probably like a vice, is that we love coffee. Like we love coffee. And so I was like, okay, what about every time we meet, we go to a coffee house, but not in our city, but like, somewhere else nearby, like to Auburn or Atlanta or somewhere else besides here. And so I was like, oh my god, that'd be great. So I was like, okay, let's do that. So we decided to go to Auburn, but first we had to go get food. First off, we went to this Asian restaurant, this Korean restaurant. I forgot what the name of it is. It was so good, and I knew it was gonna be good because one of the first few one of the first few signs is like, you see a whole bunch of Koreans, and I was like, oh, we're in the spot. This is it. And it was delicious. Then afterward, did our book club meeting at this place. We were gonna go to one of my favorite coffee shops. It's called Sidetrack in Auburn, Opelika, Auburn. It's the same. And I was like, oh, when I tell y'all, it was busy, it was packed. So instead of that, we decided to go to a coffee house across the street. It's called the coffee shop. And we decided to have it there. It was great, the discussion. Here are the clips now. Okay, y'all, this is our first inauguration of our book club. So the theme of it is just books, but then I came to a realization. I was like, okay, so every time we meet, we go to a new, or like not in our town coffee shop, because then that'll be like more adventure. So I'm also giving Dom like the layout. So the first thing that we do is we wait for all our food and stuff, because that's important, obviously. Next, before we even start talking about the book, we need to talk about our next book, because that's important. Okay, so our next book, hold that thought. Okay, y'all can't really see me, but okay, so Hoopla is kind of like Libby, but the choices are different, but you're not like in a line. So I think our library has 10 checkouts you can do a month. So like it's like a certain amount of checkouts that you do a month, instead of everybody waiting for like a copy of a book. So it's better in that way. Okay, I'm gonna give him some choices for what we're gonna read for September. Y'all finna gag. No, it's a popular book. So okay, so while he signs up for Hoopla, let me show. Look at this little area. It's nice. It's like a little thing you could see outside to the street. It's pretty cool. Pretty cute. But yeah, I was telling him. So Hoopla is kind of like Libby, but you're not waiting in line. You just use your library book, but it's actually better. The downside is that if you read like on a Kindle, you can't put the books on your Kindle because you have to read it through like a tablet, so you don't get that e-screen reader thing going on. All right, next we decided on the books. I'll let y'all know in a minute. Next, we talk about the book. Now we're gonna set a time limit because I've been in several book clubs, and listen, we will talk about anything else besides the book, okay? And that has been happened before. So I'm going to set a strict 30 minutes. We can only talk about this book. Yeah, 30 minutes. And if one of us starts, we gotta talk about something else. But we gotta get back on track. So 30 minutes. You ready? Okay. So the first thing we always talk about is overall. What did you think about it? Like overall from the beginning to the end. Go.
Overall, it was good. I like how it's very close to real events.
Okay.
Like somebody else's.
Did the audiobook have the ending for it where it's like the author notes and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an explanation of the book and whatnot.
Yeah.
It had that. That was good too. But overall, I think I would get, because there were parts where I was like, this is so lot. It's too much.
Out of 5 stars, because that's usually the rating scale for, like, you don't have a good reads, but yeah, what would you give it?
Give it 3.5.
I would give it about 2.5.
Really?
Now, don't feel so sorry. When I tell you, like, I'm harsh with the ratings.
I believe it.
Yeah.
You're harsh.
Yeah. I think, for me, I enjoyed the book. I really love, you know what I really love the most? I love the Avengers style of literature happening. Like how she meets a whole bunch of different.
Yeah, see now.
That's so
and
cool.
How she, and then
like
at the
Langston
end,
Hughes.
How they all came together.
Yeah,
and she
Toomer,
was
like Cullen, like that's cool. But I think there's something structurally wrong with the plotting for this, and I didn't like that at all.
What do you mean?
From like the plotting of how. Okay, this is gonna take too long, so I'm gonna talk to him. Okay. No, what we need to talk about is the men go.
That's what I'm saying.
The men ain't shit. Every single last one of them.
Well, I mean, Langston.
And her mama was on that ass.
Yeah,
her mama was on that ass.
Her mom was reading her from filth.
Yes.
Every single step of the way. She said, I know I'm a visitor, but while I'm here, that man can't be here. I was like, oh, alright.
So they did her so dirty.
Oh,
Jessie Fawcett, yeah. In general.
Whoa.
Because
What?
first off, W.E.B. Du Bois mess.
Yeah. Him and all
Mess.
his women.
Oh my gosh.
He was a womanizer.
That's
I had no idea. And then try to justify it by being like, well, I wouldn't ask you to answer.
what the.
I'm like, bruh, come on.
See, that's the thing though, like when these type of novels, it's like you're, especially as an author, I guess you could say, it's like you're honoring him because there's no, you can't take away his accomplishments and like what he did for black people. Like W.E.B. Du Bois, like what he did
Yeah,
is important. But at the same time, y'all, a lot of men in history are trash, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
MLK.
Especially MLK,
Yep.
Gandhi, Dr. Seuss.
Oh man. Don't let them folks shout.
My God.
But no,
Even Alan Locke? Alan Locke's the founder of the Harlem Renaissance, the grandfather of the Harlem Renaissance.
he was in the book.
Yeah, he was in the book. Y'all, he did that girl dirty. I had a good time, and our discussion was really great. Overall, as you saw, I gave this 3 stars out of 5, 2.5, 3 star, like around there in the middle. I did have a few gripes with it, as you saw in that clip. I hope I talk about it because but overall it was still like a good first book club. So the book that I decided to pick for for September, since I'm the one that's picking out the books, I'm still trying to like get like a grasp on the type of books that I am going to choose. But at this point, I think I'm just picking books that I think will be cool, like cool for us to read. So the first one that I decided to pick was Ring Shout by P. Djeli Clark. Again, it has to be available in audiobook, and then for me, I'm gonna read it physically or ebook. Oh yeah, let's do this book. I think you'll like it. But then there was like a pushback where he was like, well, if I start it now, I think I might finish early because it's a novella. And I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, why don't we pick another novella? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I decided to pick The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I was like, oh yeah, I think you might like this book because like it has like a really cool premise to it. And then I was like, oh dang, we should have picked these because it's like novellas. So we should have picked this for November, for like novella November, or November novella, like that type of thing. But I was like, that's fine, it's fine, we'll do it for September. So I'm excited. I already have a book in mind for October, but the line for it is long. So I told him put the hold on now. So hopefully by October it'll be available. If not, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna pick a backup. So Yeah, that's the best thing about that. It's like the flexibility of two people is great. If you've ever thought about like starting a two people book club, go for it because it is so good, especially if you know like really know the person. Now, my other book club, okay? Walking with Miss Millie by Tamara Bundy, my book club with my niece. Y'all, she ain't finished. I mean, now granted, did I finish? No, but you know, I can read this in like an hour. Like, I can finish this in super fast. Now, her on the other hand, I don't know, because the other day, tonight, she wasn't reading the book. No, she was on her, she was talking to her friends on her iPad, FaceTiming, probably playing Roblox. So I might have to kick her out. And at this point, I'm just gonna go to the to the middle grade section, like read a book on my own because I will kick you out. So I don't know. I don't know, but I I don't know. I guess it could be a bi-monthly type of thing, like you know, every 2 months. So I guess, but I'm gonna finish it regardless. I'll just finish this probably like this weekend or something. But I mean, I guess. If anybody wants, and I know you personally, if you want to start like a two people book club and you want to meet, we have to meet in person. I don't know. We have to meet in person. I have to know you. Let's do it. Because if anything, I am reliable. Okay, y'all. I will finish a book. Okay, I might not finish early, but I'll finish on time. Next category, let's talk about audiobooks. So I did finish an audiobook, which was Night Flyer, Harriet Tubman and the Faith Dreams of a Free People by Tia Miles, narrated by Jamina Edwards. Overall, I really enjoyed this. This was such a great, in the realms of like a religious, spiritual biography. And this was something that I've never encountered before because usually I would just like a biography, you know, like but while this follows that format essentially, this talks more about like the religious aspect and like the spiritual aspect of Tubman's life. One of the thesis for this was like to demystify and bring more grounded theory of like more grounded aspect of Tubman, and I think it kind of did that, kind of not, which isn't like a bad thing, okay? Because she had to go through a lot, like a lot. Y'all, if anything, you know what this reminded me of? If you have not watched The Drunken History of with Crystal and where she talks about Harriet Tubman, go watch it. When I tell you that is so funny, okay? So funny. Like it is hilarious. So go watch that. You'll have a good time. I thought the audiobook was great. The narration was really good. And dealing with the topic wise, the one thing I would have to say is that also I felt like the compared to the beginning and the ending felt rushed. Like I guess the more the 2/3 half of the book felt really rushed. I don't know if rush is the word or like it just felt really condensed in comparison to like the first 2/3. But I also really did enjoy that this book explored more of other enslaved women and like their teaching, their like not their teachings but their teachings, but their beliefs and like how that incorporated them like in believing in God and whatnot with their aspect of slavery. I thought it was really fascinating. I thought it was really good. And I enjoyed it. I gave it like 4 stars on Goodreads. Right, I started another audiobook after that because I was like, ooh, what can I read? And y'all, this book is excellent. I was like, oh, this was really good. It's The Devil at His Elbow, Alex Murdaugh and the Fall of a Southern Dynasty by Valerie Berlane, narrated by Maggie Meg Reed. It also has parts by the author, also like where the author is speaking. This, if I ever had to describe it right now, because I think I'm only like 10% of in it. It's a long, like y'all, it's long. It is riveting. Oh my gosh, like I am engrossed in it. And I think this is a perfect example of like how, like, if you're a good storyteller, you can make like a story like just sing. This is so compelling. This is basically about Alex Murdaugh, which the name rings a bell in my mind, but I don't really know that much about him. He was a lawyer and he murdered his wife and son, and so this this is a now I don't know all the details. Okay, so I'm still starting. So this goes back not only about Alex Murdaugh himself, but also his whole family. And one thing that I'm really like applauding in this is how there's so much, like, y'all, there is so much details, but it's not confusing at all. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is like I follow like I'm following everything because like there's a timeline essentially, and like the family tree and whatnot, and you can actually go see it like on the it's stated on the audiobook that you can go like there's a physical you can go on the website and stuff and see the actual like family tree and whatnot, which I haven't done, but this is so interesting and riveting. I'll definitely finish it this week for sure because it's like every time I go to work, I'm listening to it and it's really good. I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So I'm enjoying that. Next, y'all, I'm reading so many books. That's the problem. Okay, so let's talk about some other books. Now, digitally wise, as I mentioned before, I'm still reading the Delectable Negro, Human Consumption and the Homoeroticism Within U.S. Slave Culture by Vincent Woodard. I'm about to reach the halfway point of this, and so far it's really good. It's intense. It's a lot. The one thing I would have to say so far that I'm really noticing is this writing style is, I wouldn't say it's not for everybody, and sometimes I feel like the writing style gets in the way of like just straight up facts or like what Woodard is trying to say. It sometimes the writing for me is just like it's written very like it's almost like it has this flowery essence to it. It reminds me of like older I would have to say like during that time type of writing. It's a lot, yeah. It's a lot, but I am learning. All right, the next thing that I'm reading digitally is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Y'all, I'm only on page 35, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this. And I think it's the writing style. It's the writing style. Some of it is, it's like, to me, it feels convoluted. And I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna keep going. We'll see, but I don't know. I think it's overhyped. Yeah. Now, in regards to that graphic novel, I think I'll have to return it back, so it's fine. Just disregard it from last week. And then I'm still reading this, which is the Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. I'm really deep into it now. It's good. Again, this book really hinders on if you enjoy James' writing, and I'm liking it. My goal for the upcoming week is to get to the middle point. Like, I really want to dive deep into it because I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking it. I love the superfluous writing, the just the gilded age of it all. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, there's that. So far those are the books. These are the physical books right here. So I'm excited. I'm really, again, the reading is going well. I'm doing really well on my reading time. So yeah, if you read any of these, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until then, I'll see you guys next week for sure. Bye.